So today I wanted to go ahead and make a little video on this guy. I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of an introduction, kind of talk about his past and an abused home, kind of how I wound up with him, what he was fed, basically the problems that I had with him in the first place and how we progressed. So if you like this video, you can please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll go ahead and get into this guy. Okay. So this is Louie. Basically, they told me he was 3. They also told me that he was a son conure. I don't know if you know anything about son conures, but this is not a son conure. This is a Jenday Conure, and he is actually relatively large for any conure. He's probably double the size of my son I have. He's a pretty big boy. So I ended up getting him because I was in a bird group on Facebook of a local area, and some lady had posted in one of the groups saying free son conure, come to the cage, free. I commented on it. I was like, yes. And she had ended up asking me what experience I had and if I had a specific experience with son conures. And I'm like, I have a son conure right now. So basically I set it up for me to go pick him up, and that same, I was like, let's say metaphorically, it was a Thursday night that I set up the day to go get him. So Friday rolls around, I get a message from the lady Thursday night saying that they took him back. They took him back. And I was like, really? So 3 or 4 weeks ago, I got a text from the same lady saying, did you still want him? They gave him up again. And I was like, yes, I still want him. So this is when she started giving me a little bit more information on him. She was telling me again that he's a son conure, that he's 3, that he was only fed sunflower seeds, which that sounds really, really, really bad. But the food they were feeding him is targeted towards parrots. But what type of parrot should eat that? And it'd be a healthy food for them to live off of? I don't know. I'm going to show it to you guys, the food that he had, and I'm going to show you guys his cage that he was in, which is insanely tiny. So that's all I knew about him, really. And when I first picked him up, first thing he was doing when he started seeing everybody was dancing up and down and bobbing all over the place. And I actually ended up, my boyfriend had took me to where the bird was, because I'm like 30 minutes from my boyfriend's house, and where he was like 30 minutes past my boyfriend's house. So I drove to my boyfriend's house, and he drove me up to where he was. We picked him up, and when we got back to my boyfriend's house, we kind of took him out the car for a little bit and just put him on the back deck, the back table, just to kind of like not have him in the car forever. So, you know, he kind of got to see some people, and he was like dancing all around, and he wasn't really yelling much. So, you know, it got time where I was like, I need to go home, I need to take this guy in, I need to go get him settled in. So I had him covered in the car. I had him in my front seat belted, and then covered the sheet because I didn't want him to freak out while I was in the car. And I ended up like looking in there a couple times, going like peekaboo, and he was like lunging at the cage, like did not want me anywhere near him. So I got him home, and I really didn't try and mess with him the first night I had him. I think I might have stuck my hand in there like once just to see if he would come out, and he was biting the absolute shit out of me for like a week. I still have like scars on my fingers because he was biting the shit out of me like bad, and it hurt. And Bo, my bird that I have, he's never had really any issues at all. He's kind of like legit like the perfect poster boy of a bird. So it got to a point where I was scared to touch him. And it's only a couple days where he was just biting the crap out of me all the time. And he didn't want to come out of the cage. He just wanted to be in his cage, and he wanted to bite you. And my dad, who really, he raised a fucking fuss over me getting him. So, he actually ended up coming in here and, like, trying to get him out. And he just stepped right up on my dad. And he was like, okay, cool, new friend. And I was like, not happening. Not happening. So I told him, I said, well, I gotta train him. Because I'm not gonna have this bird just bite the shit out of me all the time. Especially when it's not, I mean, it's pretty easy to kind of counteract. Like, look at where I have him right now. Like, 3 weeks later. So, my dad has stopped basically touching him. And he stopped biting me. He has stopped really biting. He now just kind of nips, like, if he doesn't want you to touch him. He has not actually bit me in 2 weeks, probably. I've had him for, like, 4. So, it's been a while since he actually bit me. He yells a lot. If he's not on my shoulder, or he's not out of the cage, he gets very angry. Not angry, but he, like, yells all the time. So I haven't been able to really film any videos that I've been wanting to film, because every single time I talk, he's just like, I'm here too, and screaming. And screaming. And because he is a Jenday, his scream's a lot different than, Bo's. Bo's is a lot more high-pitched, like a classic Jenday Conure screech. His is just loud. And just annoying. But he's been stepping up. I basically started off with, I know when it comes to a lot of animals that, rewarding is usually the better option than punishing. So I wasn't yelling at him or anything. I would just give him a little treat, when he was good, and not do a stern no. I'd go, no. And then if he was bad, I'd lock him back in the cage for a little bit, come back. And that's worked out really well. I do have some tips and tricks on how I ended up training him and how I kind of got him to stop biting me. And I think I'm going to make a whole video dedicated just to how I got him to stop biting me. But now, he loves to be on my shoulder. I have like a coat rack type thing, like a hanger thing. Like you hang clothes on it. It's like the inside of a closet, but it's like not on a closet. I don't know what they're called. But I had this thing, and I didn't have any clothes on it, so I put a sheet over it, because if Bo could see his cage, he'd fly over. So I had to put stuff on that. I just put clothes on it. So now he's just standing on top of that thing all the time and just yelling. And he gives kisses, actually, but not as trained as Bo does. I can go, give me a kiss, and Bo go, see? Kisses! And I don't know if you can tell that I have this thing around my shoulders, because he is chewing the holes in all my shirts. Just constantly chewing. If he does not, no. If he does not want to come to your hand, or if he does not want to get off the cage or something, he'll snap at you. But he won't bite like he used to. And first thing I did when I got home was give him some good food. And he has been obsessed. He's a hungry boy. Yeah, you a hungry boy. Hungry boy. I was really concerned that, like, you know, when it comes to, like, dogs and cats, like, you're supposed to mix in their new food with their old food. I was really concerned that he wasn't going to want to come off the sunflower seeds. He was just going to want to stay on them. No, he loves everything I feed him. He actually likes fresh fruit. Bo really does not have any interest in fresh fruits. That's why I get a lot of freeze-dried fruits for him. But it's kind of like the opposite. He likes fresh fruits, but he doesn't like the freeze-dried. And then Bo likes the freeze-dried, but not the fresh. So, I mean, I have a lot of different foods I kind of mix together in one that I feed him. I'm going to make a whole video on that, about what I feed them. And yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I don't know if any of that made sense or if I'm just kind of rambling, but this is Louie. He's 3. They told me he's a son conure. He's a Jenday Conure. He came from a very abusive home. The cage is terribly small. I wouldn't even want to put a parakeet in that cage. He's only fed sunflower seeds, which is still advertised as bird food, but you really should not feed that to a bird. He would bite the shit out of me for like 2 weeks, or like probably less than 2 weeks. I trained him. He is a lot better, and that's what's really sad, is that all he needed was a good home. He's not a bad bird. All he needed was a good home, and I luckily have been able to give him that, and I hope he stays with me for a very long time. Bo really wants to be his friend. He doesn't really want anything to do with Bo, so they kind of just like yell at each other. But I'm going to go ahead and put a clip in here of what he is fed in his cage. I'm probably going to go ahead and film that right now. And I'm going to try to keep him on my shoulder, because if he's on the top of the cage or in his cage, he screams all the time. Like I said, I couldn't film videos really. And the bottom of his cage, the bottom of the tray, is getting cleaned. I'm waiting for it to dry right now, so that's not going to be in there. But go ahead and skip to that. Okay, so this is his cage. Ignore everything I have out next to it. I don't know if you can tell how small that is. I put a bag of Nutriberries next to it to kind of show you guys how small the cage is. That's a normal 10-ounce bag of Nutriberries. So I'd say the cage is 2 of those bags and a quarter tall, which probably doesn't make any sense to anybody but me, but I'm not measuring it. But I don't know if you can tell, but it's very tiny. So this is the food that they were feeding him. It says premium parrot food by 3D Pet Products. I don't know if y'all can see this. It's sunflower seeds and a couple safflowers. And there's just some Nutriberries in there that the lady who had basically given him to me put in there. And there's a little bit of birdseed in there that she had put in there too. But the inside of the cage, basically all he came with was these 2 big bowls and this rope perch. The lady who had given him to me, she had birds, basically, so that's basically why they gave him to her, and she gave him to me, because she had birds. So she put all these toys in here. Again, the bottom's not in there. I gotta go scrub that out. It's cage cleaning day. But so all these toys were in there. So all he had was a rope perch and these 2 bowls, the 2 bigger bowls. And then I've had some pellets in here trying to get him to eat them, but he's really not wanting to. And I had this little guy, but I don't know if he eats this or if it's just for like the little holders just for like parakeets or finches. But he likes millet, so does Bo, but I don't know if he can eat through this. But yeah, so basically that's his cage. I have a bowl on top of here, which he's actually kind of afraid of, and a treat up there that he's not eating. Yeah, so that's basically what he was in. That's his story. If you like the video, you can please comment, like, and subscribe. That'd be great. I will make a video soon of what I feed my birds. And then also a couple videos on, you know, how I trained him and how we've been working. And I'll probably make some progress videos along the way. Boop. Oopsie. Okay. Have a nice day, guys.